You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello. See, I mimicked the voice of someone that I listened to the recording over and over again. That's why I don't sound like Darkman, you know.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
What device was that he used to like play and rewind and then play and rewind on his little Walkman? Because I was like, damn, I would have fucking killed for that.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
What the Talk Boy should have been.
The Talk Boy.
Yeah, I heard the Talk Boy was a lie. I never had one, but I remember the commercials and
Brendan had one. Yeah, we were disappointed.
It was a tape recorder.
Yeah.
A portable tape recorder that burned through batteries, whose microphone really sucked.
I believe that. We should do our next podcast on Talk
Talk
Boys.
Boy.
We'll get 3 Talk Boys. It's going to be an editing nightmare.
Yeah.
We'll just all record it on our own cassette tape.
We got to adapt. We got to find a way to adapt the Talk Boy to USB-C. You know?
Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn could probably help us
Probably.
with an adapter for that.
It's a Home Alone game emulator that you play on a Talk Boy.
Dude.
Great.
So, like the Famicom controllers had a microphone in them, right? So it's like they had the Zelda
Paul's
enemies,
voice.
right?
Yeah.
Paul's voice. They totally should have done that for like Home Alone Famicom edition. Is you use that microphone to trick 2 stupid old men constantly.
I hear it's pretty easy if you go by the lore of Home Alone.
I like Home Alone lore. I like that. They should like leave it in the Skyrim.
Home
or
Alone
something.
canon.
Yeah, the canon. The canon of how those parents still have children. How the state has not swooped in. I feel like the guy just showed up. The guy from the government showed up and was like, "Oh, this is a pretty big house. All right, you're fine."
Yeah.
How the Sticky Bandits have a small functionary Toon Force, and how they survive all the shit in Home Alone 2.
A tune, yeah, they do. They do have like a tune force.
Because Marv does turn into a skeleton for a second.
He does. So are you implying that Home Alone and Roger Rabbit and or Cool World all live in the same shared universe?
At least the divergent timeline that is Home Alone 2.
Okay, that's fair. Why would they let the wet bandits out?
They escaped.
Oh, okay.
They escaped from prison.
Okay.
They didn't let
Using
them out.
their
I
Toon Force.
forgot the lore.
They squeeze through the keyholes because they have the Toon Force a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about the 1990 Liam Neeson Sam Raimi vehicle, Darkman.
Yeah.
Man.
Both the movie and the game for the NES.
NES. Brought to us by Ocean.
The great purveyors
I know.
of
When I
quality.
turned the game on, I was like, oh, damn it.
Oh, good.
Ocean.
Yay, Ocean.
Ugh, seal of quality. LJN gets a bunch of shit. And a lot of it's deserved. Like the Bit Studios stuff is really bad.
Yep.
Terminator. But like Ocean.
We don't hate Ocean enough.
Ocean, exactly. Yeah.
LJN is just the face, but it also, Ocean deserves.
Ocean's working in the shadows.
Yeah.
With Darkman.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I was going to make a political reference. Fuck it, I'll do it. Trump is LJN and Elon is Ocean.
Ocean. Well, before we Darkman it up, what you guys been up to?
Oh, the usual. Working in my yard. I worked in the yard Friday, mowed it, and my mower has been giving me fits. Like it runs, but it runs funny, and it kind of doesn't want to. It idles up and down, and finally I decided, fuck this. I'm gonna fix my mower. I'm gonna give it a tune up. So
It's impressive.
I went to the store Sunday and bought air filter oil, spark plug, new blade, put it all back, took the carburetor off, cleaned it real good with carb cleaner. When I put the carburetor back on,
I think if it's on a lawnmower, it's called a moberator.
a moberator. When I put the carburetor back on, I guess I couldn't get, there's this little spring-loaded dial at the top of the carburetor that attaches to another hook that decides how much gas you're getting, you know, how much air fuel mix you're getting.
Yeah.
It flaps open and shut, you know.
Yep.
And when I bolted the carburetor back up on, that little thing wasn't clearing the body of the engine. And I was like, well, I don't understand this. It was working before. Now I've fired it up, and the mower revved up so high that I thought it was going to explode. It has this like really heavy flap on the back for a leaf bagger that I don't use.
Uh-huh.
It was blowing so hard, it was pushing up against that spring, and that thing was going up. And it was like
it's on hydraulics.
yeah, it was like
Dr. Dre's lawnmower?
something's not right. And after 2 or 3 attempts at trying to figure this thing out, I went to YouTube and found a video. I had the spacer in the wrong place, and so I put it back on the right way, and it started up, and it's working good now. So I almost blew up my lawnmower. And then I watched a couple of movies over this past week. The first one is on Shudder right now. It's a new release on Shudder called Dark Windows. And it's about this trio of young adults who goes out to a house in the country to cope with the loss of a recent loss of their friend who died in a car wreck in which they were driving. So they were all together, but their friend died, and then a killer shows up and starts fucking with them. And it's a really good movie. I liked it fine. There was one scene in it. There was a death scene in it that was one of the most disturbing death scenes I've seen in a long time. The killer has this guy, one of the guys, duct taped to a chair, and he has like a plastic bag taped around his neck at the base. And then he takes the plastic bag and lifts it up over the guy's head and fills it full of vodka, and then just holds it close so the guy drowns. And you see the guy's face through the clear plastic, and it was just really, really disturbing.
Yeah, it was when that lab assistant in Darkman is getting suffocated by the bag. That was disturbing. That's what it reminded me.
That was
You
the
mean
second.
the 5 seconds of screen time he gets, and he shows he knows karate.
Right.
He's an Asian man.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
That had a little flashback of that when I was watching Darkman.
I was surprised by that in Darkman. I really was. I was like, fuck, that's like
That's dark.
That is dark,
man.
man.
Dark, man. The second movie I watched was called Until Dawn, and I'm sure y'all have heard of the game Until Dawn on PlayStation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anna watched Markiplier's playthrough of that obsessively.
That's the
did
motorcycle one, right?
Holy shit. She watched every time I would go in the house for like 6 months, she was watching that on repeat over and over and over.
They made a movie about it.
Is that the zombie? Is that like the zombie one where you're like on a motorcycle?
No.
Oh, then I don't know what this is.
This one, I thought you had mentioned you played it at one point. I must have been mistaken.
It's like 8 survivors.
They
and a
go into
Wendigo.
a house and
I own it.
They die.
I own it.
I do,
Okay.
I
Did
do
not
too.
play
I've
it.
also never played it.
So they go into this house or this welcome center in an abandoned town, and this weird hourglass is hanging on the wall, and every day they get killed and then wake up the next day alive.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's like horror Groundhog Day. And the object is they have to survive one night, and if they can survive, they'll either survive the night or live to be a part of the story or something like that.
Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Oh, by the way, Dark Windows, 3.5 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out. Until Dawn, I'm giving that one 4 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was, it didn't take itself too seriously, but it didn't gloss over the hardcore stuff. It had a lot of jump scare stuff in it too, like shit that like I'm a seasoned horror vet, and there was shit in that freaked my ass out.
Cool.
Like, and that made me jump.
Was that on Shudder as well?
It's not on Shudder. It's
Is it on a streaming
elsewhere.
platform?
Yeah, it's just on the streaming
your
platform of choice.
Okay.
I
want to watch that.
I recommend it.
I want to watch it. Yeah. I want to watch it with Nikki. She just like, I love watching stuff with her that has jump scares.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so there's plenty of them. So
Great.
you'll love it.
Great. She'll hate it.
Yeah. And then just played Overwatch and passed the time like old men do. What'd you do this week, Dave?
I played a little Forbidden Lands, which is a tabletop role-playing game that I play online once or twice a month. And I play a little D&D 5th edition as well. I know I've said this before, but I want to reiterate how much I love 5th edition Circle of the Moon Druid. It fucking rules. It rules. I love it. And it's probably because we're all low level.
Right. So that bear really stands out.
Now it's a dire wolf.
Oh.
And it's like, damn, I've been playing as a bear because of all the extra hit points, but like a dire wolf with pack tactics and almost as many hit points. And plus it doesn't matter because it's like Circle of the Moon. It's like you lose your 37 hit points as a dire wolf. Okay, bonus action. I'm a dire wolf again. I have 37 more hit points. And then it's like, so it's just a lot for, it's great. It's a great tank, great tanking class. Great. It's fantastic. I love it. So yeah, it's like we just recently, 4 of us, level 3, fought 6 vampires. 5 of them, not a problem. 1 of them was kind of a problem, but we made it. Only 2.
What was the one problem?
The one problem was a half orc vampire that had full plate. Keep in mind, we're level 3, so we're hitting them with. We could hit them with a 20, not a natural 20, but like we had to get
dirty 20.
Yeah, a dirty 20.
Still level 3, you might have like a +8 max, maybe.
Oh, a +8, that's fucking wild. Yeah, none of like we weren't rolling with that. Like we would have to get like the best fighter in the group, I think, could get them with a 15. So it was one of those fights where it was like, I loved it. I thought the fight was really fun, but again, I'm a fucking dire wolf tearing shit up. You know what I mean? And it's like, it was one of those fights where it's like, cool, we'll just strategize, and it's like, leave that fucking half orc for last. Ignore his ass. Let him do his fucking half orc shit. Let him fuck shit up, but we got to kill all the fucking squishies before we deal with him because he's going to take forever to kill. And it's like, if we're on his ass for like 3 rounds, we're fucking done, you know? So I like those. I like those combats where it's like, where there's a lot of strategy and it's...
Well, that brought me, you said that, it brought me back to a battle I still think about in your Epic 6 game where Nikki and I had to square off against a guy like that, a fighter, and then it took like, we couldn't hit him either. So like my character targeted certain items to lower his AC enough because Nikki was the only one that could have a magic weapon that would go through his shit. And her and I, like Captain America and Iron Manning or Bucky and Captain America fighting Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. And it's like, and you talking about like that character and like pinpointing certain parts and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there was a point where it's like, well, fuck, I'm a dire wolf. Can I bite this? Can I bite his shield and try to like police dog it like off of him, you know, just grab and shake. But I really like combats like this because it's like, well, let me compare that versus pack tactics. What's more likely to happen? Me to pass the shrink check against this half orc vampire, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Versus, you know, just biting him with advantage.
Yeah.
And like a dire wolf, when they bite successfully, they can
You get an auto trip, don't you?
auto trip attempt.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a low DC, but still there's a chance. So stuff like that's really fun. And I haven't really been enjoying the games that I let me rephrase that. I've been enjoying the games that I've run recently, but they've all been like old school Renaissance D&D, where a lot of it's like theater of the mind kind of thing. You don't use a battle mat. And I think that has its advantages, but man, it's so much fun to pull out a battle mat. And it's like, I know it takes a certain kind of player to really like that, but it's
I like that.
Oh man, it's so much fun to like get into like the war gaming of it. You know what I mean? So
I remember us like at various games pacing around the table. Or who was running, all of us looking at the board and trying to figure shit out. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. It's not for everyone. But that stuff is a lot of fun. So yes, high recommend Circle of the Moon Druid. It's especially at low levels. It's great. Also, like, I don't know. I'm being like a fucking 5e min maxer a little bit because it's like I'm a lizard folk, and it's like they have a racial ability that's around biting. So it's like, cool, all these animals bite, so I can use my racial for like feeding frenzy and stuff like that. And it's choice.
Yeah. Well, you're not doing something crazy because lizard folk are a lot of druids anyway, so you're not
right.
You're not,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's like I love playing gross fucking characters too, like oddball fucking characters, and it's like it doesn't get a lot grosser than like a lizard folk druid, who is like, it really doesn't. It like
a bog hobo.
Yeah, but like I like playing characters that are gross, like in the world, but like out of character, like out of the world. It's like, this is pretty fucking funny. Because no one actually has to experience this like in real life. Yeah. It's pretty funny that he just ate the necklace of ears that the half-orc vampire was wearing. I could see a lizard folk doing that.
Yep.
I could see it grossing.
Oh, treats.
Grossing people out. But like at the table, it's like, you gotta admit, that's pretty good. And then I also played a game called Night Rain. Have you guys heard of this? Night Rain?
Night Ranger.
No. No, not Night Ranger, but hey, try that out. Night Rain is a FromSoft game where they have taken Elden Ring assets and made a roguelike out of it. And it is a lot of fun. I'm not good at it, but regardless, I picked it up. I would not have picked it up, but half of Tadpog Sweethearts, Nicole Nance, wanted to play it. And I liked Elden Ring enough. I didn't finish it. It just, I always get to a point in Elden Ring where it's like, oh, I fucked this build up or something. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I go back and start a new character, and then I kind of do it again. But I really like the world, and I like the look of everything. And so I was like, yeah, I'll try this out. And it is pretty fun. It's difficult, but it's like a 3-player game. It is a roguelike. So there's this blue fire that kind of forms a circle around the map, and it does the Fortnite PUBG kind of thing where the fire it encroaches. So you've got a ring that you have to stay in. And that's important because it keeps you from grinding levels out. You're like, and it's kind of pushing you towards the boss of the area. So the object is kind of like in like a battle royale, you collect gear and stuff, and you do that in Night Rain as well, but you're also trying to like get as high level as you can before fighting the boss. And it has like, Dark Souls, Elden Ring mechanics where it's like, if you die, you lose all the like souls and stuff that the relics that you've collected, unless you like find a shrine. And like people who are very familiar with Elden Ring are laughing their asses off right now because I'm not using proper terminology. But like, if you don't cash them in, if you don't find a place to cash them in, you lose them. It's pretty fun. It's difficult. We haven't been able to finish the first hunt yet, but we've gotten close. And I like it. I was telling Nicole while we were playing it, because she was asking me, do you like this? I'm like, yeah, I like it. I think more than Elden Ring, because it's short. It's like, if I fuck up, it's like, and die and de-level, it's like, oh, well, we'll do another run in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's like, whatever. It's treating it like a battle royale, like coming into it with like that mentality is fun. It's not PvP, it's PvE. So like calling it a battle royale is not really like a great comparison.
Right.
But I like that too. I like that it's PvE. There's no like friendly fire. It's you three are working together to try to clear it. It's cool, and it's got like different starting characters. Like there's a guardian class who is like a birdman. I like him. He's got like a pole arm and a shield. And then there's this like Viking style dude who's kind of like a great axe wielder. You can switch weapons. Like if you find stuff on your way, you can pick it up. But that's kind of what they start with. And they have like ultimate abilities that recharge. So it's like I liked playing as the guardian, the Birdman, because it's like, first of all, he's a fucking Birdman.
Yeah.
I like that. That ties in with like the same reason that I like playing like the fucking lizard folk druid, you know? It's just fucking different. It's wild. It's I don't want to play a human. Like as far away from human as I can get. That's what I want to do. But they've like his ultimate ability is like a dragoon jump where he like goes up, he flies up in the air and then like comes down and does like this AoE kind of like jump. It's cool. It's neat. It's $40, and that also helps. And that was $40 new for a PlayStation game. So it's kind of like FromSoft is realizing we just took these assets from Elden Ring and we just made a different game out of it. So it's cool.
Yeah,
it's fun. I recommend. And then, sorry, not to monopolize the segment, but in Final Fantasy XIV, the new field operation came out. So, like on this show, I've talked about Eureka and I've talked about Baja. It's the new that, and it fucking rules. I love it. It fucking rules. And like, there's speculation on YouTube that like the next expansion could like go a route where you have like sub jobs and stuff like that. I don't know if that's true. That's probably clickbait stuff, but it would be great if it is. And I can see like the argument there because the way that
you don't have sub jobs now. You're just straight. You're
just straight. Everybody's the same. It's all.
'Cause I did love sub jobs.
Oh man, I love sub jobs too, and that's like the big focus in this new field operation, which is called Occult Crescent. The first part of it has come out. There's going to be more. But the way it works is you level independently of it. It's called a knowledge level. So you go in with your level 100 character and all your gear syncs and stuff. But what really matters is your knowledge level. And that you gain that as you fight stuff and do fates and fight bosses and stuff. And the bosses are a lot of fun because they're difficult. There are stakes because if you die, you lose experience, Final Fantasy XI style. But what's really different about it and what's really cool about it, what I like about it, is there is a phantom job system. And what phantom jobs are pretty much fucking sub jobs in Final Fantasy XI. So it's like you start out with 3 and they're like Final Fantasy, this like is a Final Fantasy V influenced zone. Which is great because it makes sense. It's all job based and it's like the combat music and it is like a reorchestrated version of the Final Fantasy V battle music. It's cool. I like it. But like you pick whether you want to be, whether your phantom job is knight or bard or monk. And then those phantom jobs level up independently from your knowledge level. And as you level up those phantom jobs, you gain new abilities that you can use. So what it means is you can wind up with a warrior who can also do some bard stuff. And bard does have like a XP boost song, which is like sweet, fucking sweet. So it's cool. Like a lot of times, like I had a lot of fun. I'm playing as warrior. Monk has a kick ability, which is like you go flying, kicking, you go flying across the screen.
Yang style kick.
Yes, yeah, Yang style, totally. And it's fun to pair up with. Warrior has an ability where it's a gap closer where they charge an enemy. So it's really fun to kick them and you go flying one way and then you charge them and you're right back where you were fighting them. It's cool. It's honestly, it's probably my favorite piece of content from this.
Was it Occult
patch.
what?
It's called Occult Crescent. Yep, it's the new field op. And but I also am a big proponent of mid-core content, and that's what this is. This is not as difficult to get into as high tier rating, but it's also a little more difficult than running dungeons and stuff. That's considered casual content, and I say that just because the boss fights in this Occult Crescent they're like a notch up from dungeon boss fights. So it's cool.
On. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Tyler, what have you been up to?
Let's see. Melissa and I watched the 2-part Pee Wee Herman documentary.
I've been wanting to watch.
Is it good?
So good.
Yeah.
So
a lot of Phil
good.
Hartman stuff in it, I hope.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Sad. It's heartbreaking.
Sure.
Because they had a bad falling out, but he and Paul Rubens created Pee Wee Herman together.
Right.
And it's interviews where, it sounds like Paul Rubens was a complicated and difficult man, but also had his soft and sweet side, but ultimately kind of a tragic figure all the way around. And lays out just a lot of bullshit persecution of him, gay witch hunt his whole life, and then how they the media tried this, because when I was a kid I heard Pee Wee Herman
was he gay? I have no idea. Okay.
Yeah, he very 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 private about it because he knew it would ruin his career, so he just had a relationship early on, and then he was like, that didn't work out, I'm just a career man now, and that is gonna be it. And just was Pee Wee Herman until he couldn't be anymore. But really, really good. Because as a kid, I remember when I heard Pee Wee Herman, I was like, oh, what did Pee Wee Herman do? And I think for the longest time, I thought he showed his dick to a bunch of kids on a playground, or he sexually abused some kids.
No, I never heard that one either.
And then I heard that he bought the sex tape where basically that he possessed child pornography because he bought the sex tape of what's his name, Parks and Rec, Ben and Chris. He was Chris and what's that fucker's name? I can't think of it now.
I don't know. Who was he in Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
No, who did he play in Parks and Rec?
He was Chris in Parks and Rec.
Oh, is it?
Good
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe. Thank you, Rob Lowe.
Holy
Rob Lowe.
shit. Ian's boyfriend, Rob Lowe.
Unfortunately, my ex-boyfriend.
No.
Damn
it.
Because he had sex with an underage girl and recorded it and whatnot.
He did?
Yeah. That was
Rob Lowe did?
Rob Lowe did.
Yeah, that was a thing for a while.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know about it until I watched his roast, and there was a lot of references to his roast.
It's let's gather up all this low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
This is great.
God, it's like being fucking Charlie Sheen, and then someone says, "Hey, would you like to be roasted?" No. No, I would not. I don't care if it does increase my exposure. I am not opening that can of worms.
Well, back to Rob Lowe for just a minute.
Yeah.
She must not have been
She lied about her age.
Okay. I was about to say this. There's
Lied about
no
his
way
age
this was
and then tried to blackmail him afterward, and then it came out.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I was about to say there's he wouldn't be around.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, this was 80s maybe.
Yeah, it would have
But
been
still,
the early
Yeah.
80s.
I mean, it's
Rat Pack days.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Which
didn't
they
know
would have
that.
been less strict, but he was tricked. I mean, it was not his fault, I guess, in a way. He was set up.
Yeah.
So, that's why he's not. That's why he didn't get canceled or put in jail. probably.
Yeah, I would think that. Yeah, that you would, but
You would think.
But hey, I mean, Jerry Seinfeld had that high school girlfriend when like Seinfeld was going on.
Yes, fucking yeah.
Like the photos,
That's way
the
worse.
photos of him
going
and
to get her
her
from
are like,
school.
oh.
Yeah, and then he picked her up from school. Like, fuck that. And
And I
then
know the
like a
parents
red
are
carpet
like
date.
on
Like,
board with it, which
wow.
which I gotta.
Well, Ted Nugent adopted that girl or whatever.
What?
It was Ted Nugent or somebody that
Ted Nugent and Steven Tyler
And
adopted this girl together.
maybe it was Steven Tyler. They both did it because I know Ted Nugent had the Jailbait song based on something that he did, and maybe it was Steven Tyler. It was one of the two that wanted this girl and legally convinced her parents to sign the rights away over to him so he could take her with them on tour and shit.
Yep.
Like a whole bunch of yeah. Nothing as bad as that fucked up bullshit.
Yeah.
But all Paul Rubens did was just like two different stories. Is like the cops say that they caught him jerking off in an adult theater.
See, and that's the story I heard as a child when it happened, except with the very important detail left out that it was an adult theater.
Mm-hmm.
I always heard and was
Just a
told
movie theater.
that it was a theater.
Gotcha.
And, you know, at the time, I only knew one kind of theater.
Right.
I hadn't seen an American Werewolf in London yet. Thank you. Yeah, I had to like.
Which and then
So
he
many
claims he
processes.
wasn't. Nothing was out. He was watching the movie and it was a sting operation, and they knew they had somebody they could market. So, and then he was accused of possessing child pornography, like 10 years later after that, and he didn't. He just had he had a gay porn collection of like all this older gay erotica. Like he just had like the same kind of stuff as in museums now. He has a massive collection of everything. And somebody who knew somebody, what's his name, who was cut out of Beetlejuice, Jeffrey Jones.
Right.
It was a friend of Jeffrey Jones.
Rob Lowe.
Who did have child pornography.
Yeah.
They never named the person, so it could have been. They go to Pee Wee Herman's house, they go to Paul Rubens' house, and then they go and tell the cops, he had child pornography. No, he just had gay erotica art.
But I also remember like a time where like those two things were like damn near synonymous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I do remember like that being like people were saying that.
Yeah.
Where it's like it was the same thing. And I remember being a kid and being a kid or, you know, a young adult or whatever, a teenager, and thinking, how is that the same thing?
And one thing I didn't know is at the time, so they go and talk all about Pee-wee's Big Adventure and he and Phil Hartman writing it and shit like that. And it's great. And then they talk about Pee-wee's Big Top Adventure, which I think I've only seen once.
I think I've only seen that one
because
one
it
time
is
as well.
like there are 3 Pee Wee Herman movies. The first one and the third one are super high rated. The other one is like everybody hated
Big
it.
Top Pee Wee was kind of weird and like off-putting. I didn't care for it.
Well, he was trying to like be artsy with it.
Yeah,
So until
you can
then,
tell.
it had the longest on-screen kiss in movie history.
Nice.
And they showed it in real time in the documentary, and it's like, wow, this is crazy uncomfortable. Why did he do this?
I love it.
Because it talks about twice he did something like that. Like in one episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, they did a full 2 minutes of an up close of a dog eating dog food.
I love it. That's like Seth MacFarlane Family Guy
Yeah.
kind of shit where it's like, we're just going to do this.
Very avant-garde.
Yeah, we're going to do it
Yeah.
and it's going to be funny because it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like interviews with him, like I've gone back and watched like Pee Wee Herman because he was always Pee Wee Herman on like late night shows.
That was the intention. Yeah,
Right.
He never was out of character. He did interviews and everything in character until the scandal.
and they're all awkward and it's great. I mean, him on David Letterman is fantastic.
God, I actually remember that.
Because David Letterman, like, I mean, obviously, David Letterman's a comedian. He's a smart guy. He knows what's going on. But, like, the interaction between those two is so awkward that it is, like, I don't know. It's great.
Which was more awkward, the interaction between David Letterman and Pee Wee Herman, or the interaction between David Letterman and Crispin Glover? Have you seen that interview?
Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crispin Glover. Do you remember when Crispin Glover came to town to Paducah?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I do.
Did you go to Southside Walmart with Keith Urban?
I remember some people talking about him going to Kirchhoff's because he was screening his controversial movie here at Maiden Alley. I think or maybe he wasn't screening it, but like I knew he was doing a Q&A and stuff after it. Didn't go to see it, so it's not like I'm not an interesting person, but I just remember him being here.
Other than that, it's just been, work and shit. Oh, Kenna graduated. Kenna had her 5th grade graduation.
Oh, that fucking scared me for a fucking second. Like I had to do like a time travel
How long
check.
have we been in here? Oh, no.
The longest TADPOG episode ever. The longest on recording kiss.
Pee Wee Herman's not the only one setting records.
So yeah, I went up to St. Louis and
Middle
saw her
school
graduate, and then took her. Yeah, middle school time.
Yuck.
Yeah. Yep. So, but other than that, I got a few things we could do if we want.
Sure.
I've got according to Ranker, which polls everybody the top 10 Nintendo characters. If you want to guess, try to figure out the top 10 Nintendo characters. And I've also got a build your cheat day meal for $15.
Your cheat day. I like that. I like both of those things.
Yeah.
If you're down, if you want to do both of them, let's do it.
Sounds good. All right, top 10 Nintendo characters.
Okay.
So Nintendo property characters.
And we're trying to not get number one.
No,
which is Mario.
You're trying to get them all. You're trying to get them all.
Okay. So we got
Mario, yes. Mario number one off the board.
More recognizable
Ding,
than like Mickey Mouse, right?
Yep.
So
and Jesus.
Well, I mean.
Then white Jesus.
White Jesus.
Then ripped white sexy Jesus.
Coming to Smash Brothers, I hear. A new challenger's approaching. The cross silhouette.
Let y'all remember, Meg had started a blog about pictures of sexy white Jesus. Like,
who did?
Meg did.
That's what I thought. My brain was like, you didn't hear that, right?
It didn't last long because she got a lot of threats to stone her to death.
Oh, my God.
Stone her to death?
Yep.
Well, all right. I'm going to leave that alone. Just go, tuck that away.
Because it was somebody like, if you come to Iran, I will stone you to death.
Noted.
You should be stoned to death. You should be put to death. You like all sorts of stuff until she stopped. Like after 3 posts of sexy white Jesus.
Link
number 2.
Nice.
Number 2.
We're gonna try to do them in order. So far, so good. Can't be Samus.
Samus.
Right?
Samus number 3.
Hey,
That's we were there. Yeah.
All right. Number 4 has got to be
Donkey Kong.
Or Donkey Kong's a good one. I think Yoshi's probably up
Yoshi. I think Yoshi might be.
there. You want to try Yoshi for 4?
Yoshi.
Not on the list.
Not on the
Whoa.
list.
Not on the list.
Holy shit! I'm shooketh.
The wig has been snatched.
Now I'm wondering if I'm a goofy eye. Imagine not having Yoshi on the list. Crazy.
It's not hard to imagine.
It's easy if you try, Ian.
It's happening right now.
That makes me
According
think
to Ranker.
that maybe Kirby's not on there. I thought that would have been a fucking clinch.
Fucking Kirby.
Kirby number 5.
That's crazy that Kirby is not that he's on there, but that Kirby's on there and Yoshi is not. Do you remember in 1991 when Yoshi was the biggest fucking deal in the world?
Yep.
Bigger than White Jesus, some might say.
That's how the Catholic Church hates him.
Well,
Notoriously,
yeah.
they hate
But
Dogma and Yoshi.
They've come around on Yoshi, I feel like. The Chicago Pope loves Yoshi, I hear.
He Yoshi's my lord. That's the
He Yoshi's my lord. I love this.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong number 7.
Hell yeah.
7.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. No way Ness is on that list. But I wish that he was.
Me too. This is not on that list. I'll go ahead and tell you that now.
It's Ranker.
Yes, I believe so.
Damn, if it were Dorkly, I would be like, the dog from Duck Hunt is on that. But because it's Ranker, probably not.
Princess Peach.
Good answer.
Not on the
Good
list.
answer. Can you do this as Steve Harvey going forward?
Can we do it as Family Feud?
I can try.
style?
Yeah.
We watch a lot of Family Feud clips in our house.
Luigi.
Luigi number 6.
Oh yeah, it's got to be great. I mean Bowser. I got Bowser on there?
Bowser number 9.
So how many do we have left?
1, 2, 3.
We have 3 left.
Yeah, 4, 8, and 10.
I don't know why I'm treating it like we have strikes, and I'm being really I'm being real careful with my answers.
Yeah, the list continues.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Gonna need an answer, Dave. Time's running out. 3 seconds.
I never did well on my timed multiplication table.
I liked when Richard Dawson used to give him like, okay, that was a really good answer, but and then she had a strike, but let's just give her a little bitty beep. The X. He'd make him just do the X like,
Yeah.
so that it wasn't like obnoxious.
He was an awesome host.
He was the best host, in my opinion.
I think Steve Harvey is my favorite host, but Richard Dawson's like, because Steve Harvey is like such an entertaining
He is.
host. Like he puts on
Supposedly Diddy's bottom, according to court statements. So
Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong on the list?
Diddy Kong's on the list.
Not on the list. I blame P. Diddy. He was on the list.
He was on the list.
Got canceled in all iterations. The Ghost, the Boo.
Boo is on the list.
Boo is not on the list.
on the list.
Oh.
A Goomba? I'm not being racist. I'm half Italian. I can say that. A Goomba?
Goomba on the list.
What's the name of that dog on Animal Crossing? The one that,
KK Slider.
Well, I'm thinking of the other one, the one that runs the resort.
Isabel.
Isabel, number 10.
Nice.
Clutch.
Nice. I like KK Slider better than Isabel. Isabel's cool.
KK
KK
Slider is pretty cool.
Coming in with the fucking eyebrows, dude. Like he's like, you know how Snoopy has all those cousins, like those canon cousins? Like KK Slider is like Snoopy's Japanese cousin.
Oh, yeah, for
who's
sure.
like really into sumo wrestling and guitar.
So you just have 4 and 8.
One of them kids from Splatoon.
Nope.
No.
Oh, good. I'm glad. No, nothing against Splatoon, but
Man.
I like that you're thinking newer stuff. That's smart. That's smart to come from that angle.
All I'm really trying to think of is like wicked popular franchises that Nintendo are known for. Obviously, Mario being the big one.
Zelda?
Zelda's number 8.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
But most people think they're talking about Zelda when they mean Link, and they just don't know it.
So just number 4.
Number 4.
So slightly less popular than Samus, but slightly more popular than Kirby.
Donkey Kong? Oh, Kirby was 5. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that Bowser was as low as he was.
Yeah.
Especially with the Mario movie, you know, and how big like Peach's was.
I thought Peach would be on there for sure.
Peach is not, but Daisy has to be. Wario?
Wario, no.
Wario's
not on the
a good
list.
guess, actually.
Ice climbers. Balloon fight kid?
The ostrich from
Toad?
Nope, not Toad.
God almighty.
You have not named a game that this character has been in yet.
Okay, so it's not a Mario game. It's not a Zelda game.
Zelda or
it's not a
Kirby.
Metroid game. It's not an Animal Crossing game. It's not a Donkey Kong game.
What's left?
I don't know, but I know that we're torturing our listeners because they all know it.
They all have
and
it
I'm
figured out.
enjoying that. So let's just milk it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Apple Kid?
Orange Kid. Apple Kid's mouse.
Dungeon Man?
Hell yeah, Dungeon Man.
Hell yeah, Dungeon Man.
Darkman.
Famed Nintendo property, Darkman.
Man, that'd be great if Nintendo just randomly bought Darkman.
Well, they're never going to get it because Sony owns it. Sony will never sell it. Oh, man.
What if Darkman shows up in a Spider-Man, like an upcoming Spider-Man movie?
He might.
He kind of is like, he kind of fits like
bit.
Spider-Man villain mold a little bit, where he's like got, this tragic backstory. You kind of feel for him a little bit, but also it's like
He's a psychopath.
right.
Yeah.
Sandman-esque.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got it. It's right
We're not
there.
giving up.
Oh,
You got it.
Oh, Little Mac.
Not Little Mouse.
Oh, damn. King
Good
Hippo.
guess.
Baldwin?
Have we
Mike Tyson.
have we still not named a game?
You
that
have not
needs-
named a
shit,
game.
so it's not
this
anything
character
from
yet.
Punch Out. Hogan from Hogan's Alley.
A go-kart.
No, just a go-kart.
Is it like a Fire Emblem thing?
No.
Okay, because I'll say I'm not gonna get it.
We Fit Trainer.
Nope.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer. I like that. A me,
Just general me.
Yeah.
a me fighter.
That black me fighter who beats everybody's ass every time.
Oh man.
Is it? Can we get a hint? Is it a retro game or is it a modern game or is it somewhere in between? Like what?
It spans. It started when we were kids.
So it's
an
a
old
big
game.
fucking obvious one that we're just.
It is a Smash
overlooking.
Brothers character,
It's not the dog from Duck Hunt.
not the dog. From Duck Hunt.
Okay. It's not the fielder from Track and Field.
Nope. Consistently released games since the 90s till today.
Since the 90s, meaning that it would have started on the Super Nintendo. Captain Falcon?
Not Captain Falcon.
Star Fox.
Not Star Fox.
Oh, God. How did I
That was
not
a good-
think of that? That's a good one. Since the 90s, consistently released.
Oh my God.
If we don't get this, Tyler's firing us from the. This is like Undercover CEO.
Yeah.
Tyler's going to fire us. Undercover Boss? What was the name of that show?
Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
Okay. But they were always CEOs.
Yeah.
It was never like Doug from middle management, right? Where he's like, this is all fine. I don't understand.
I don't really. Y'all are
In
great.
fact, they're being too nice.
Yeah. I only have to do this for one day, right?
I'm selling to private equity. This is bullshit.
Consistently released games featuring this character since
I wouldn't
the
say
90s.
featuring necessarily, but they're in
But
every
they're
one
in
of them.
it.
Yeah.
And it is a Smash Brothers character, which doesn't help me a whole lot because there's so many
There are
damn
like 50
characters
Smash
in
Brothers
that
characters.
game.
Well, we've named almost all of them.
And they're not from a Mario game. They're not from a Donkey Kong game. That's the thing that's really like, well, what the fuck other giant fucking franchise is there that we're overlooking that started on the Super Nintendo or possibly Game Boy?
Shit. I'm racking my brain. I cannot think of anything else. Mega Man?
That's
Not-
Capcom.
not
Oh, that's
Mega Man,
Capcom.
yeah.
That's Capcom.
But yeah. In Smash Brothers? In Smash Brothers.
I didn't know. I thought maybe Mega Man was a Smash Brothers
I
character.
honestly fell off of Smash Brothers pretty early, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who they got. And my memory is shit.
I'm gonna need another hint.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
can't drag this on too long, or else I'm gonna start getting bored.
He has his own themed cartridge.
His own themed cartridge.
Carnage.
Its own themed cartridge. I don't want to
Its
assume gender.
own. Fucking Gyromite? Fucking Rob?
its own themed cartridge. Like, what does that mean?
Right. Is it a different color?
Is it because it's
It was also in the original Smash Brothers in 1999 on the N64.
Oh, Pikachu.
Hey.
Oh man, Pokemon is such like a. It's weird because it's weird that I consider Earthbound a Nintendo property, but I don't consider Pokemon a Nintendo property.
I don't either.
It totally is.
It is.
But it's like, I guess because Pokemon is so big on its own that it's like doesn't feel like it's under the umbrella of Nintendo,
which is like good for them.
Yeah.
Because holy shit.
Yeah.
My grandson is all about that shit right now. Pokemon cards are his jam. I went to the shed, the
Did you
flea
just
market.
fight someone over a pack?
No, they had a bunch of old ones there though. This guy was selling like ones that he had like, wrapped in a pack of, about half an inch thick of just random cards for like $3 or $4.
Nice.
I bought them.
Hell yeah.
Gave him to Cohen, and I thought he'd have thought I'd given him, a gold bullion cube or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he loved it. He thought it was great. Oh, there's a Snorlax Hollow in here. I'm like, okay, sweet. That shit's easy. It's like whenever you buy your wife a Pandora bracelet and then you only ever buy her Pandora charms for the rest of her life.
SNL did a skit about that. Yeah. Get ready to get one of these fucking charms every holiday, birthday, celebration for your entire goddamn life.
I caught myself doing that, but not as a way to like get out of buying anything else. It was just I thought. But then I was like, shit, I think I'm falling into a pattern here. I need to stop buying these fucking charms.
It was
for her.
easy when my mom was into it because she fucking loved it when we get her one of those.
Yeah.
Anytime we could.
Yeah. Well,
I cherish my position of Nikki does not really care about gifts that much. So it's one of those where it's like Christmas is especially great because it's like, hey, look, we're both kind of like stressed out about getting gifts for family and for Henry. How about, hear me out, we just get a big thing for the house for the both of us,
Yeah.
we usually do that or we'll go and just go shopping.
That's fun too.
And buy, what do you want? Let's go find some things that you'd like to have.
Yeah.
That'll be our Christmas to one another, as opposed to, I'm not trying to surprise her with shit anymore.
Right.
I do occasionally surprise her, but it's at random times.
And that's
never
more
on
meaningful,
a holiday,
I feel like, when it is random.
Like that necklace I bought her from Tiffany with my employee points. She's fucking over the moon about that. She doesn't take it off if she doesn't have to. So
It used to be.
But we rarely buy gifts for one another. We just we'll go shopping or whatever.
It used to be really fun when Nikki's birthday would fall on during Dragon Con typically. And it would be fun to be like, well, let's just walk the exhibit hall and see what cool shit is there that you like.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gotten some neat stuff that way.
All right, we doing the cheat day one?
So I'm trying to find the last thing because Melissa's typically hard to buy for because she only likes like really practical gifts. Although she did
Nikki's
love,
the same way.
like it has to be. There's nothing like
She literally asked
have
for a
hobbies
vacuum
or
cleaner
anything,
one year, and it
Yeah.
was like, let's just get a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's
but-
not a present.
Yeah, I don't want to tell my future son. This is before Henry. That one year I got his mom a vacuum cleaner for her birthday.
Right.
like in the 50s.
Yeah,
But if
What do you buy your wife?
in this case, we would go to Best Buy, and she'd be like, God, I really need a new vacuum. Well, do you want a vacuum for your birthday? Yeah. Because, it's not a cheap present if you buy a good vacuum, right?
no.
So,
Oh yeah, it's
as long as
totally
she's
not.
saying that she's picking it out and is cool with this.
Yeah.
I don't
But Melissa did love figure skating, and we were talking
longer?
about that a little bit, but she was really into it as a kid.
Okay.
So I remember she talked about this one skater she saw, or this one her whole family would always talk about it. So
Tanya
I went and bought
Harding?
her
I don't know if you've heard of this Tanya Harding.
Tanya. I bought her the Campbell Soup like 1990 figure skating world tour like T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
That's great.
I love shit like that.
That is awesome. I'm glad that's cool. You're able to find it.
Yeah, because it was sorry. because I gave it to her. She took a picture and sent it to all her cousins. So look what I got. All right, cheat day. You not got the cheat day?
Man,
Sure.
you gotta when you go special occasions, you gotta ask her to wear it.
I know. I gotta find it again.
You gotta be like, hey, remember that?
Wear your Campbell's shirt ice skating T-shirt from 1992.
Yeah. Or anytime she says, I don't know what I'm going to wear.
Oh.
You know, every single time.
What about that Campbell's ice skating T-shirt?
You took photos of it. You loved it. Come on, just wear it to Thanksgiving.
What do you mean? What are we wearing to Anna's graduation? You can get your Campbell shirt.
Just the shirt, though. Just the shirt. It's the only thing you can wear.
A rehearsal dinner, well, of course you have to wear your Campbell sleeve skating shirt.
I know you wore it to the graduation, but just tie it on the side.
DJ Tanner style.
It's totally different.
All right, cheat day. Well, do you want to save it? We are long in the tooth, and we still have a movie and a game to talk
Yeah,
about.
Hold it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it, but that's a good call. Maybe we should save it.
I need to take a piss real quick.
I do too. I'm really glad you said that.
Let's take 2 to 4 minutes. And now everybody is
Wayne's World.
freshly drained bladders.
Yes, I needed that really
Freshly
bad.
smoked.
That was a long one.
I freshly smoked a cigarette. We all did something we needed to do. Now it's time for Darkman.
Let's talk about the glory, the 90s glory.
I have a Tadpog totals list for Darkman.
Hell yeah! I was hoping we had one of those.
Bonus. I was drunk when I made this
Hell
list.
yes! Bonus. I'm drunk now.
I was really drunk when I made this list. So some of it's probably not going to make any sense, but I guess that'll make it better. 1990, Liam Neeson, Frances McDormand, who knew?
Yeah.
And Sam Raimi directs Darkman. And the Tadpog totals list goes a little something like this. 1, holographic nose. 1,
Yes.
unexpected Frances McDormand, a.k.a. one of the most beautiful women to ever exist. Women. Bloodless finger removal. Machine gun equipped wooden leg.
Yeah.
Dr. Giggles. 1 melting Liam Neeson hands.
Dr. Giggle.
1 American Dipper triggered bomb. Fortunate waterfront real estate. I don't know. It's like I'm reading this for the first time. I don't know what's on the list.
That scene where he falls, like he gets shot from the building, is so fucking funny.
So funny. And then I was like, he lands in the water. I was like, that was fortunate.
Yeah. The fucking sound of him screaming like makes it even funnier.
Oh, where was I? Fortunate waterfront real estate. Instant funeral attire. Oh, that was
that fucking transition.
The transition between Frances McDormand looking at the blowed up building and then standing in the graveyard with her funeral dress
the way
on.
she held her belly, I expected it to get big all of a sudden.
Right, because she was holding it like she was pregnant for sure.
Basically creating mutants from random homeless people they find floating in the bay. AKA Deadpool. Yeah. I got a real Deadpool vibe from that scene. Like, just.
Yeah. And from Darkman, I mean, I could see that.
Lots and lots of really dirty bandages. Mm-hmm. 1 conveniently abandoned warehouse turned Darkman lair that definitely nobody will notice the lights are on after all this time.
I like, by the way, sorry to interrupt
you're good,
totals,
you're good.
Like in movies like this and also in like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where it's like they restore power to an old abandoned place, and it's like, who is paying the bill? You can't just do that. Yeah. You can't just work hard and all of a sudden there's electricity in a building.
Like a Revenge of the Nerds montage.
Right.
At least in the Penguin, they have gas-powered generators in the sewers in that show, so it's not just turn it on.
Fair.
Oh.
Where was I now? Okay, 1 almost but not quite Sam Raimi hero builds something montage. Oddly delayed damaged hands realization. I know. He's working. He's been doing this for like days or, working on his lab. And then suddenly he looks down at his hands and realizes that they're all fucked up. My hands! It's like, bro, you've been using your hands.
You're like, he's literally using fine motor skills when he realizes, because he's like twirling a vial of chemicals. And it's like, dude, I don't. There's no way I don't buy the fact that you can't feel.
Right.
They turn it off. You turn off the adrenaline, and it also turns off your pain receptors.
Yeah.
As long as you spin in a circle and you don't go crazy.
Jealous ballroom spying, Kill Bill-esque anger flashes, henchman manhole whack-a-mole. That was a good one.
I liked that.
That was a really good one.
I liked that.
That's Sam Raimi's brother, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because just when I was thinking, this feels like Xena. Then I fucking see him, who's in all over Xena, every scene of Xena.
Henchman manhole whack-a-mole. One apparently nonverbal screaming woman. One Liam Neeson acting a whole lot like Bruce Campbell. Yeah. Bruce Campbell was originally supposed to be Darkman.
I totally 100% believe that.
This movie, that role was written for Bruce Campbell. You can tell. Yeah. And of course, he has a cameo at the end, which we're getting there. One, what did you expect when you showed up at your grave to tell your girlfriend you aren't dead moment?
Where's the perfect place to do this?
He's surprised that she's not like instantly glad to see him. I would be like, what the fuck? Also, she was having a real problem with that.
Can you imagine being in a long-term romantic relationship with a person, and then you're at their grave and they just show up expecting you to love them?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Like, hug me.
But it worked. But it also worked somehow. She took to it real quick.
She did.
You're dead. We buried part of your ear.
We only have an hour.
That's what the gravedigger said.
The exposition wasn't much to bury, and I'm like, this is not a real conversation anyone's ever had.
This list is long. One classic. Which one is the real Durant revolving door mix-up?
Yeah.
One acid trip carnival scene.
Yes, I loved that.
One pink elephant deprivation induced psychotic break. Double mask, double cross. One American Dipper. It was the two masks.
I
know. One American Dipper bomb reprised. You know what the American Dipper is, right? It's the bird
what Homer uses when he's working from home.
Yeah, yeah. It hits the Y key.
Yeah.
Every time I see one of those things,
that's what I
think of.
Yeah.
I've just tripled my productivity. Double mask, double cross. One helicopter chase. One, there is no fucking way the Heavy survived that helicopter crash.
Right.
One, gross misjudging of hero's morals resulting in bad guy getting dropped on his head from 62 stories. One Bruce Campbell cameo that actually made me overlook how flawed and disappointing this movie was. And the TADPOG acting brilliant thank you awards this week go to Liam Neeson for saying, take the fucking elephant and pay $5 to see the freak. And you've got to be shitting me. I laughed when he said, when he looks up he's about to go after this helicopter. He's getting on the chain and he looks up and he just goes, you've got to be shitting me. It was the most realistically delivered line in the entire movie.
And also, that's a line where it's like, yes, that was written for Bruce Campbell.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's the one who delivers that line.
You know why he did this movie?
There was this conflict with another contract he couldn't get out of, and I don't know why they didn't just wait. They could have waited because this would have been a better movie with Bruce Campbell. Nothing against Liam Neeson. I thought Liam Neeson put out a really good effort. But he just didn't snap into the role as well as Bruce Campbell would have.
I think Liam Neeson as Darkman was fine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I think Liam Neeson as the scientist, it was. There were moments where it's like, I literally was like, well, he's really grown as an actor.
Yeah. Yeah. And finally, the last TADPOG acting brilliant thank you award goes to Frances McDormand for saying, if you're not going to kill me, or if you're going to kill me, but I have things to do. There you go.
My dad would be working steel. That's why I'm comfortable up here.
So fucking random, right? At the end where like he's like
monologue
dancing on the steel beams.
They meet a bunch of Indians. Indians work. I've always seen. Okay, sure, all right. I didn't know that was a trope, but okay.
Yeah, I know it was. Okay, so I'm sorry, but I liked this movie.
It's okay.
I don't think it's a good movie.
I am right there with you.
But I liked this movie, and I can tell you that it is 100% biased. It's 100% biased by Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Because it's like there are, and I like Sam Raimi's his movies. I like his filmmaking.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
do
like
too.
there are parts of this movie, like that whole carnival scene is totally fucking like that's like Sam Raimi as fuck.
Yeah, it
where
is.
like they're all like he's like all these weird zoom ins on faces laughing, and
Yep.
it's like shoot, 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 going forward. Like the moment that like he has a psychotic break in the carnival.
Yeah.
And then he does that like tight fucking zoom on his eyes with like the weird lighting and shit behind him. It's like, all right, that's like some good.
This movie,
He just didn't rape anybody with a tree root.
right?
I
Exactly.
know.
There was no tree root.
You do
rape.
that twice, and
It's in all of them. Yeah,
that's what he hides in every movie.
Yeah, he does. It's in there. You just
go
have
in
to
looking
see
for it.
Yeah. You have to know where to look.
Liam Neeson got raped in the water when he got jettisoned. He was raped by a tree underwater.
Root rape. I feel the same way. This movie was Sam Raimi through and through, and I think if you don't know his style, you're gonna hate this movie. I think you're gonna have a bad time if you don't know what to expect from Sam Raimi. And I did know, and so while I just was kind of disappointed, at the same time, I did enjoy those elements as well. I like seeing his work, and I like seeing the way he frames things. Like you said, all that stuff works for me on a lot of levels. So I respect the movie, although I didn't care for it.
I think it's a pretty bad movie.
Yeah, and it's an hour and a half
and
long, and
I
they
hate
just
to say
cram everything in.
But I do also think that like I don't know anything about the production of this film, none. But I feel like this would have been a lot better, and it would have felt, I don't know, more authentic to me if it had been like a lower budget movie. To me, like, okay.
Like if it had had more of an Evil Dead feel.
If it would have had, to be perfectly honest with you, if it had been just straight up, we are making a B movie.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to say it. I'm not saying it to be like offensive, because I really do like Sam Raimi's work, but like, I mean, Evil Dead, like, and Army of Darkness is like, that's a B movie.
It is. It's like an epic B movie.
Yes, and it knows what
it's
it is.
Stylistically a B movie, but it was super high budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I love it for that. I think it's great. And it's like, by me saying it's a B movie isn't like an indicator of its quality.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's an indicator of its spirit more so.
Even his newer stuff, Evil Dead Rise and
Doctor Strange,
Drag Me to
Multiverse of
Hell.
Madness.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
Doctor Strange movie.
Even all that has a B movie feel.
Totally.
To it. And they're modern, well-funded movies because everybody wants to see his shit. So it's a style choice, and I agree. I think it would have been better that way.
Because I feel like in Darkman, to me, while I was watching it, and maybe it's because Liam Neeson's the lead, and I think of Liam Neeson as like a big deal actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
So like, and I think with him playing the lead, and honestly, I thought he did a pretty bad job.
Have you seen the Naked Gun trailer with Liam Neeson?
No,
God,
but I think it's
no.
great that he's.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
He'll be the perfect.
That's like perfect in the spirit.
yeah,
of
it
like
is.
yeah.
He'll be perfect.
Leslie
in that
Nielsen,
role.
coming into comedy.
There are a couple of little trivia bites I'm going to read, not a whole lot, but just cover some of the stuff we're talking about. Tyler, to clear your question up, Sam Raimi initially wanted Bruce Campbell for the lead role, but the studio had concerns about that because I guess he wasn't maybe their best choice, and so they ended up casting Liam Neeson, but Campbell makes a cameo in the film's final scene. Makeup challenges. Neeson's transformation into Darkman required extensive prosthetics, taking up to 5 hours to apply. He often worked 18-hour days in that makeup, which is crazy because his Darkman makeup was good as hell.
Yeah.
It was fucked up.
Yeah,
he looked like a Sam Raimi demon or monster, very.
He looked like, I mean, when you said Deadpool, I mean, I feel like, he looks like I think Deadpool should look. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I love the Deadpool movies, love Ryan Reynolds,
But they did.
but like he should look like Darkman. Like that's how fucked up he should look.
I agree.
But yeah.
Script development, the screenplay. This was something that got me. I didn't know this.
His teeth, sorry.
Yeah, the teeth.
fucking
his teeth look like Evil Ash from the
Army of
Darkness.
Yeah. But like when he's got like the gauze wrap on is when those teeth look fucking creepy.
Yeah,
as
they do.
shit.
They look like
They
bagel
really
bite
do.
cheese in his mouth.
They do. They really do.
And I thought that was like such a nice like. It's like damn, that's cool. I
Yeah.
mean, that's really good.
I would
That's
have
really good.
I would have thought. I mean, that probably went a long way towards contributing to the R rating of this movie. I mean, there was
right.
there was some stuff, and the gross factor, I think, was the real ratings, the R rating getter.
Had to have been because someone
There's one F word in the entire movie.
and there's like no nudity.
That I remember.
I don't remember a flash of nudity. That doesn't set off the sensor in my mind like
Right.
it used to. So I have to like really comb
Right.
through.
My Mr. Skin sensor does no ping.
Not tingling. Unless it's a symbiote.
The screenplay underwent multiple revisions with contributions from the Coen brothers,
Interesting.
who
I believe.
were friends with Sam Raimi.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were apparently close. They all went to the same. They all came up at the same time. Worked,
makes sense.
And they didn't necessarily always work together, but they like went to school together, and they. I remember reading that they and several other big directors in that world in that era were close. And then finally, after poor test screenings, Universal executives demanded changes. Raimi and his team later re-edited the film clandestinely, restoring approximately 9 minutes of footage before its release. Generally got favorable reviews with a Metascore of 65, a user score of 7.1 on Metacritic. It was a commercial success, grossing $48.8 million against a $14 million budget.
Wow.
It did well. It had spawned 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Die, Darkman, Die
is that
is the second one, and Return of Durant is the third one. I did not have time to watch those.
The revisions isn't super surprising because like Tyler, you mentioned the whole like scene where it's explained how they keep Darkman under control is by spinning him in that fucking like mental institution.
It's like we found a homeless man and we just decided to experiment on.
And then they do nothing with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it doesn't like that doesn't come up again. Also, the fact that he's Darkman and he spends almost the entirety of this movie in the day. And it's like, well, that had to have been like a rewrite thing because it's like they take the time when he's Liam Neeson is the scientist and they're like building these like this synthetic skin and it's like, why isn't it working? It only lasts 99 minutes.
99 minutes, 100 minutes, it breaks down.
And then like the power in the facility goes out,
Yep.
which he later restores by hard work.
He Naruto's the power back.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, there's no light. So like the cells are able to retain their form. And still knowing all of this information, Darkman operates almost entirely in the daytime.
Under
where he
a
has
ridiculous deadline. Under a ridiculous deadline, he goes out. He gets photos
Huge
of the
projects.
henchmen. He gets photos of the henchmen, recreates the henchmen, makes it look like the henchmen stole money from the boss, and the boss throws the real henchman out the window. But the whole time he's like looking at his clock, and by the time he even gets to the place where he picks up the money, fucking like 30 minutes have gone by. It's like, man, why didn't you put that thing on after you like closer to the time when you had to be there?
Yep.
Buy yourself a couple of minutes.
and then afterwards he's fucking sitting like on a bus stop.
Yeah,
And it's
just
like,
sitting there.
It's like, dude, the mission's over, but like your skin's about to melt the fuck off. Like
Hence the screaming nonverbal woman that I mentioned in the TADPOG totals list.
Right.
She's just screaming and pointing. But this is right after the henchman had been thrown out the window and landed on a car. So everybody, I assumed, thought she was talking about that, except she was pointing at Darkman and screaming.
Sitting there looking at the guy that he's impersonated. Yeah, just chilling out. Just
He literally looks like he's waiting on a bus. Like he literally does. And it's like, why did you just
all this all this lab equipment is expensive. I can't afford cab fare. What do I look like?
Yeah, I liked it. Bad movie, but I liked it. I liked The Shadow. Like I couldn't help but compare it against The Shadow.
Well, you know,
I
we
liked
talked
The Shadow
about
a lot more.
I did too, but we also talked about the fact that Raimi wanted to direct The Shadow, and because he couldn't, he did this. And so this is kind of, you know, I feel like this is kind of what we sort of would have gotten, but with a different theme and maybe a little bit better if it had been The Shadow that he directed. I don't know.
I see the similarities. I am curious what The Shadow would have been like had he directed it.
Yeah.
It would have been an entirely different
I
film.
would have liked to see it. I feel like it would have played more on The Shadow's dark past as opposed to like, yeah, we forgot about all that. Now I'm a nice vigilante guy. Like there's no reference to the Shanghai drug den like anymore after that.
Right.
Like I feel like Raimi would have had like fucked up like anger issues. Something would have happened that would called back to that, which I think would have been nice to have seen in The Shadow.
Yeah, I think that would have been interesting. But I also don't know that I don't know. I guess I trust him as a filmmaker, but I almost am concerned that he might have been constrained by the era that the movie is in, that the movie takes place in. Because I feel like The Shadow very much feels like it's taking place in the 30s.
Right.
Like
and
there's
they had
never a question where it's like, is this in the 30s? It's always like, okay, this is in the 30s.
They had that kitsch that they could lean on.
Right.
That the stereotypes.
Noir, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
definitely.
Raimi would have probably pushed against that.
Probably. Would have made it a little more
1930s
out there.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
I like that this was a revenge film.
Yeah. Again with the
Because
revenge.
it's like it is a superhero movie, I guess, but not really. It's more a revenge film because it's like, and when I realized that's what it was going to be, because it's like Durant's Men, they're fucking brutal.
Yeah, they are.
Brutal. And like while it's happening, like, because I like revenge films. Like you mentioned Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And it's like what's going on? It's like my mind is just starting to like activate, and it's like, oh, he's gonna kill all these people in the course of the movie, and it's gonna be like the payoff's gonna be good, and like the fucking whack-a-mole manhole.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, this is great.
Let's pretend you didn't tell me.
This is great. So I love all that.
The beginning, whenever like
That's
basically the Warriors walk out to search these guys, and like that young kid who's got nunchucks.
Yeah.
Him as he walks.
Warrior.
It's also like, the favorite joke that I made to myself while watching this movie, the movie opens up with like a very dark-skinned gangster. And it was just funny to me because I'm like, how many people walked into this movie in 1990 and was like, that must be Darkman. It almost feels intentional.
And he's gonna be missing 7 fingers from that cigar cutter.
But it's so wild that it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like immediately it's like, this isn't a serious movie because like, or it doesn't take itself too seriously because 5 dudes or I don't know, 9 dudes walk in unarmed. They're hiding
Not unlegged.
one small Uzi, and they're like, they got so many dudes, gangsters like got guns
But
trained on
cars hidden in cargo containers. Wait, did you hear that's what Ukraine did?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
In Russia?
They hid a bunch of drones inside semi trucks with like removable tops, and they got the trucks into these Russian military bases and
Wiped out like
unleashed
63%.
the drones and just destroyed this airbase. It was really cool.
Someone played a lot of StarCraft.
Yeah, they did.
When they like devised that plan.
It was very Trojan horse.
Wow.
What's your plan, Zelensky? Zergrush.
Yes, sir.
Zergrush, the Russians.
What if they did develop this like technology where it's like, okay, we're gonna turn into bugs, but we're gonna fucking win this war. We're gonna like spread purple goo all over the ground, and that's how we're gonna do it. Sign me up.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was the movie.
Yep.
There was a game.
Vidya game.
There is a game.
King of the Hill's coming back
I saw that.
on Hulu.
I saw
I'm excited.
that. I saw the trailer for that. It was a nice trailer.
Yeah.
What I meant to do immediately after watching it was just to make sure that Mike Judge is involved, which I assume that he is.
Yeah, he is.
And then I was curious, like, what his involvement is.
Yeah.
I haven't looked that all up, but I want to say I know his name was in the opening scene. You know, they did they revealed the opening credits.
Yeah.
And his name was on there as like at least as an executive producer.
And I feel like they're doing it the only way that they can do it, where it's like time has passed and like in real time. And
Yeah.
it's now is now, because you can't, there's so much they can't do because of real things that have happened in real life.
There's even a scene where like you see one dude, part of the opening, you see one dude standing there with a mask on.
Right. Which is, that's really clever to let you know that this is post-COVID. Yeah.
Anyway, Darkman for the NES.
Darkman, which if it tells you anything the caliber of the game, it was covered 4 years ago by the Angry Video Game Nerd. So
That's kind of a recent one for him.
Yep.
I didn't realize that was that recent.
Post the buyout. Yeah.
Do we have an email?
Yes. Yeah. One moment, please.
Because it was released in 91. Yeah, the movie was in 90, game was in 91.
So late NES game. And it looks, I know we'll get into it, but I was really impressed by the opening menu.
Yeah.
Where you got like Darkman's fucking hand with his like finger, like you select. It seemed like they added a whole bunch of menu options that didn't need to be there.
Right.
Because the guy who designed that hand was like, we're using it.
Yeah.
We're going to get some mileage.
That to cover some real estate. Okay, Brad Zenelord Lord wrote us an email about this game, and he writes, "Hey, you all, there are three Miller Lite themed Pringles flavors you might want to keep an eye out for.
What?
If I could personally design a chip, it would be of the Valentina and Lime Lays. So good." So good, he says. So good. I thought he was saying so good.
So good. Have you guys heard of I think it's vinegar and sesame seed?
No.
Yeah, I heard about that the other day.
I tried.
I would too.
Yeah, me too. I love vinegar.
Me too. And sesame seed.
I have a bunch of Sonic talk that I typed out, but this review of Darkman from the January 1991 issue of Video Games and Computer Entertainment is very long. So if you want to read it, it's at the bottom. And if you don't, that's fine too. The only person I really talk to is my wife, and she definitely doesn't want to hear it. So you guys are my outlet for my Sonic thoughts. This is a review by BW. We'll read them. We'll read the Sonic talk.
Okay. Yeah.
Darkman Ocean for the Nintendo Entertainment System, $49.95.
It's a steal.
Starts.
It's $10 more than the game you just bought. The Night Rain.
Yeah, that's true. Night Rain's better.
All right, it starts with the ratings. Sound music 7, graphics 7, playability 9, overall 8. Got a pretty good score.
Playability 9?
Uh-huh.
They didn't play it. They did not play it.
Lately, any action movie that makes it big in the theaters is almost sure to spawn game versions at home in the manner of Batman, Total Recall, and now the soon-to-be-released Darkman.
Oh, Total Recall.
The storyline centers around one Dr. Peyton Westlake, a scientist working on a type of synthetic skin that could be helpful in the treatment of people with severe burns or other disfigurements. With the aid of a computer and photographs of a subject, he has made progress creating masks that very closely resemble the person. While trying to perfect the material, his lab was broken into by a crime organization looking for an important document. The doctor's lab is destroyed by the evil Durant, who sets a fire that takes out Dr. Westlake. Almost. Severely burned and with little original skin left on his body and severe pain to boot, Dr. Westlake must undergo a treatment that will deaden his pain. This treatment has serious side effects, however. He suffers violent mood swings and has adrenaline rushes that give him great strength. He escapes from a hospital and becomes Darkman, determined to seek revenge against his attackers. By salvaging some of his equipment from his lab, Darkman has managed to reconstruct the necessary equipment to continue making the synthetic skin, but now concentrates on making masks of Durant and his henchmen from photographs he takes. This is like the movie review almost. Yeah. But the game does sort of follow the movie.
It does.
Which is nice. Darkman is made up of several different and often lengthy stages and isn't a game that can be easily beaten. As each level begins, Darkman must make his way through horizontally scrolling landscape of one sort or another, and often in many directions within the same area. Reminiscent of Hogan's Alley is a photo sequence where Darkman must grab his camera and attempt to sneak snapshots of gang members while trying to avoid being shot himself. The more pictures he takes, the more time he'll be given to complete the following stage. I thought this was kind of a neat element.
Yeah, I did too.
Where you get pictures and then you can assume their visage.
Although I did think that it was funny that it's a magic camera.
Yep.
Because you can only be shot if you point it at somebody with a gun. Otherwise, you cannot be shot.
yeah, it was weird.
But it is a neat little mini game.
Because you get to that once you've gotten their picture, then you can now assume their identity, and when you do, you got to stay out of the light, or it wears off. When Darkman assumes the identity of the villains he's attempting to defeat, his abilities change. Some characters have extraordinary jumping abilities, while others are less gifted. Accordingly, much of the game, the challenge lies in overcoming difficult jumps and landings. Occasionally, Darkman will have a weapon, but often he is only able to kick and punch against those with guns and other weapons. Fortunately, Darkman is usually able to survive several attacks before defeat, and blue flasks picked up along the way will restore his health at the end of an area. The backgrounds for all this action are well done, though some admittedly better than others. The funhouse layout is especially interesting, while the backgrounds for Darkman's tree-leaping adventure are somewhat plain. However, how fancy do trees and water really need to be? Occasional flickering aside, the graphics are consistent. Who can resist lending Darkman a hand as a tear rolls out of his eye after an unsuccessful attempt? Thought that was nice. A built-in storyline option gives the rundown on what's going on from scene to scene, so everything proceeds logically. For those that have their NES hooked up to a stereo, get the woofers out. Darkman throws some bass. The music is great, though the sound effects are perhaps somewhat average. Both music and sound effects may be turned off if they get to be a bit too much. Darkman has great gameplay, and I was really pulled into this game. Although 4 lives are presented and 3 continues allowed, it really does take some time to make progress. A high score table and a 2-player option are also present to simulate competition in what will surely be a successful game. And then it gives us the address to Ocean of America. Ocean of America, 1855 O'Toole Avenue, Suite D102, San Jose, California, 95131. Phone number, 408-954-0201. Let's call them.
Yeah. Of course. 408
954
0201. 0201. Calling. Connecting.
Anything?
Nothing.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. As the called party is busy, please hang up and try
they're
again
busy.
later.
Ocean's busy.
Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. As the called party is busy, please hang up and try again.
You don't think it sounds like this is like an active mobile phone
like someone
number
like
now?
yeah,
Do
this
we need
number
to
got
cut that out.
Maybe.
It's public knowledge. Everybody's seen this review.
But they
got this phone number.
But they never say. I've never called and it been like the person's busy.
Right.
It's always been like it goes to voicemail, or then it's like voicemail is full.
When Ocean of America closed, they just had the number ported out to this dude's phone.
Yeah,
the guy that the janitor.
He's like, look,
Ocean.
I talked to my girlfriend on this phone number. My wife can't know about it. Can you please just give me the number? And he's just carried it over for years and years.
Who the hell keeps calling you? Some guys from some podcast. I don't know.
3 gay fuckers in Kentucky.
I have a bunch of Sonic talk from Brad I could read if you'd like me to.
Yeah.
Sonic Colors isn't that great. It's like all the other modern Sonics. It's half fun and half what does this game want me to do? I think the fan base was so excited to have a conventional Sonic that wasn't completely broken after Sonic 06. They were just happy it existed, and it's still busted, just much less so. Lost World is also half fun, but half what the fuck, and at least has some more interesting ideas. Forces is basically a baby game, no interesting ideas, and with a lot of the crazy rough edges sanded off. Sonic 06 is very fun from a train wreck perspective. They randomly put it back on the Xbox 360 store for $5 after it had been deleted for years, and I'm glad I bought it before the store closed. It's the ultimate expression of what does this game want me to do? I own Frontiers, the open world one from a few years ago, but I haven't played it yet. I also own Superstars, but haven't played it yet. Hearing the boss levels can last 10 minutes or more has scared me off. Damn. 10-minute boss levels in a Sonic game.
You might as well be playing an MMO.
Right.
Remember, I played Sonic the Dark Brotherhood, the RPG, the turn-based Sonic RPG. Half of it was fun, and then it became the exact same. All you had were the exact same moves on every single battle. I just got fucking sick of it and quit.
I didn't realize they tried to do like a Mario RPG kind of thing with it. Was this on like the Dreamcast or something? What was it for?
I played on 3DS.
3DS. Wow, that's current.
Yep.
Ish. I mean, to me, it feels like that was yesterday.
Right.
It was probably. I bet I paid it
like a decade ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. That sucks to
I
hear.
had it on my R4 for my 3DS.
Sure, yeah. Yep. I mean, obviously, no one, you know,
that was the first one I had to like get in and patch in order to play it.
Interesting. That sucks to hear that it wasn't fun.
No, it was at first, and then it just got so unbelievably repetitive.
Personally, I thought Mania was boring. The advanced ones are underrated, and no one talks about them, but they're solid 2D entries. Sonic Rush on the DS has the same issue that Superstars apparently does. The boss fights are just way too long and unfun. I've put way too much time into modern Sonic games. Despite that, I haven't played Adventure since the Dreamcast was current and never played Sonic Adventure 2. Ditto for Sonic Heroes, Unleashed, Secret Rings, and Black Knight. Anyway, that's way too much Sonic talk. Gotta go fast. Lord, Brad from Arizona. Thank you, Brad. Darkman, the video game.
It sounds good on paper, all the elements that are there.
Yeah.
I think it does sound good. I thought I liked the music in it. But I hated how it played. I absolutely hated how the platforming segments played because I felt like I was playing on an ice level, which I wasn't like. You're not on ice. I think it
has the kind of the detection problem that like Wizard of Oz has, where you could
fall off a ledge of a platform when it looks like you shouldn't fall. Yes, totally. Where like the edges are like trimmed back, like 5 pixels too much or something. Yes, I had that. I died immediately, and it was like, so I played this game. I made it about halfway through. I made it to the carnival stage.
It's pretty impressive.
But see, the thing is, it's like this game is all about, oh, I died here. This is how I get by it. And then it's like when you continue, it's like, oh, okay. It's almost one of those games where I feel like it could be fun to speedrun because it's like playing it blind is like such bullshit. Because everything fucking kills you and you don't know. But it's like once you get past it, it's like, oh, okay, I just do this, and it plays pretty quick.
It's just intense memorization.
It is like a lot of memorization.
And I've heard the elevator levels are memorizing all the elevators and how you have to move and go.
Yeah, the way you
I didn't get to elevators.
The ones where you have to like ride the platforms in a certain way.
Well, they have arrows. Like I only did one of those in the sewer, and all you do is like. They have conveniently placed arrows on the wall, which every sewer has.
Yeah.
And then when you see the
along with moving platforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, on AVGN's playthrough, shoulder later levels where there are no arrows.
There are no arrows.
So it's just like trial and error death until you know the pattern, which is fucking awful.
Yeah, that does suck. So they must make a reappearance.
Yeah.
You can climb walls, which I thought was...
That's... nice.
Yeah, that was interesting. That's interesting gameplay for an NES game. There is a balancing mechanic which I died to immediately.
Yeah.
Where you need to like keep, which is cool. It's a cool idea for a mechanic. There is like a bar that vaguely resembles like what you would see in a bowling or a golf game that would like represent how much power you're going to hit something with.
Yeah.
Except what you're trying to do is keep the moving bar centered by pressing B if it's too far to the left and pressing A if it's too far to the right.
Yep.
And you have to keep doing that as like Darkman walks across like a
tightrope or a beam or something. Yeah.
Which is like, that's neat.
That is, I thought that was a neat feature.
That's neat.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of like in Oblivion. It's like the lock picking mini game kind of thing where it's like, okay, you were playing a platformer, but now you're gonna like play this little balance mini game until until we're through with that. So, I think Darkman looks like Darkman.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
The little cutscenes between levels are pretty good, where it tells the story, and you see that kind of close up of Darkman.
His eyes are crazy.
Are moving left, right, up, down.
They're fucking crazy.
It is weird looking, but
I love it.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, it looked pretty good.
There's a legally distinct Liam Neeson in the game, which I thought was really funny because it's like they got as close to looking like him as they could.
Oh yeah,
without like crossing a legal line.
That guy looks a little like Liam Neeson. Not really though.
Right.
Not really.
The camera mini game that we talked about briefly is different. I think it's pretty funny. It's like a shooting gallery style game where you're trying to take a photo of a man who apparently is teleporting from like building to building and showing up in different windows.
It's
like
just other dark men with his skin on.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Maybe that's it. He's franchised to other horribly disfigured humans who want to take revenge on Durant. And then it kind of just repeats. I didn't like the carnival level. I thought it had it had some gimmicks in it where it's like, okay, where there's some platforms that have like arrows pointing to the left where it's like it reverses your movement.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's a fine mechanic, but I really honestly do feel like so many times I was playing this game and it's like, why am I so slippery? Like why it just felt, to me, it felt bad to control.
Yeah, it was tough. I felt the same way. I didn't play it much.
It reminded me. I caught up and finished the Righteous Gemstones.
Nice.
So fucking good. So fucking good.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Lightning bolt through my slit.
All right, one more time.
But I mean, was the Angry Video Game Nerd, as he was playing it, he was like, why does this feel weird? It's like, oh, the same 5 guys that designed this game also designed RoboCop 2. So the platforming levels are like a 1-to-1 copy
God, I can
of
see
RoboCop
that.
2.
I can see that now that you mention it.
I thought the combat was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I thought the hit detection was bad. When I would go to punch a guy and it looks like I punch him, but nothing happens. And then he punches me and I'm stun locked. And then he just punches me off the platform. And it's just like, okay, so you got to get him.
Yeah.
You got to get him first. Otherwise you're dead.
You're dead. There's no blocking. There's no avoiding.
No. Yeah. So the combat's not very in-depth. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
It wasn't great. It had some neat elements and some creative elements in it, which I think are about the only things it had going for it. I mean, aside from looking pretty good and sounding pretty good, it just, at the end of the day, it's a game, and if it doesn't play well, it's not great.
Well, it's like, to quote Josh Nance on communism, it looks good on paper.
Yeah, exactly.
I would give Darkman a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Josh Nance, keeping it at a 6, I would give Darkman a 6. I feel like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Out of a scale of 10.
Yeah.
Because it does have some redeeming qualities, but I never want to play it again. But looking at screenshots and stuff online, hell yeah, sure.
It does look. It looks good. The sound, the cutscene, like the intro, and
and it follows the movie. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, again, they were shooting for.
It's got all the elements.
I want to play like I'm in the movie, and it did.
Yep.
They did their best with that. I mean, I don't know if it could have. I don't know if it was going to be improved upon given its developer, but for what it was, I could see people liking it. I could see it being a relatively successful game and a relatively successful movie, apparently.
Yep. Did you guys have any achievements for it?
I got a couple. My first achievement is Face Off.
Nice.
And to get Face Off, you lose your disguise in the middle of a level, and just have to play the rest of them as Darkman.
Does that happen? Can that happen?
If you get in the light,
really,
if you get in the light, your disguise will go away. It's got like its own little life.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because, like, at the end of the photo shooting, where you're like trying to like take snapshots of Polly to make the mask. At the end, there's this screen which is hilarious. Darkman, like in a Carmen Sandiego game, because he has like a magnifying glass over his eye, and it tells you how well you did, and it tells you what your mask quality is.
And so the higher the quality, the less likely it breaks down slower in the light. It lasts longer if you get into the light.
That's
with it.
cool. I like that they did that.
Again, another element in there that was neat.
Is there any benefit though to looking like Polly versus looking like Darkman? Because I look like Polly and like everything still wanted to fight me. You know?
Well,
what I mean?
I think it's you get different moves. You get a different move set, like a higher jump or a stronger punch or whatever. You inherit that person's abilities, not so much the ability to blend in. It's the ability, the fabricated abilities of those henchmen, right? I'm wondering if the one-legged guy is the one that you get the higher jump from.
You cherry bomb, you fire the machine gun and go higher.
Go gadget peg leg.
My second achievement is I have a very particular set of skills. Nice. And I have a very particular set of skills, you immediately fall off the rope, the tightrope thing.
I unlocked that.
So good for you on that. And thought I had another one. I wrote down a bunch, and no, I think that's it. Oh, I was thinking of one while we were talking earlier. Durant. And to get Durant, you just groove to the music while you're playing Darkman.
I have one that's similar to that.
Duran was big in the early 90s.
Hell yeah. My first one is Hungry Like a Wolf from the Grey with Liam Neeson.
Yes.
In order to unlock Hungry Like a Wolf from the Grey with Liam Neeson, you kill Durant twice.
Okay. That's way better than mine. I love that.
My next achievement is you were to bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. In order to unlock, you were to bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. You have no idea what you do when encountering the balance mechanic in the game and fall to your death. Bonus points if you're more machine than man by using the power glove to play the game.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
And then my last achievement is the heart, Osborne. First we attack his heart. In order to unlock the heart, Osborne, first we attack his heart. You receive a poor quality mask in stage 2.
Nice. Those are good.
Thank you. Tyler?
I've got 3. The first one being Fester's Quest. And you unlock that by beating Polly's level. Because Polly looks like Adam's Family, Uncle Fester, Adam's Family 2 values where he's in like the pastels and...
Dude.
He really does.
That's a good call.
That is
and
a good
also,
call.
I'm glad you brought him up because like in the movie, the dude who plays Polly is amazing at like convincing me that like he is Darkman wearing a prosthetic. You know, like he really sells it where it's like, damn, dude, that guy's a good actor because it's like he totally looks like he's not himself in his skin.
Nervous and
sugar water.
My second one is they hate these cans. You unlock they hate these cans, but you never get hit with a bullet while they're all firing at you in the camera level.
Oh, that's a good one. That my wife would appreciate that one a whole lot.
And my last one is first floor death. You unlock first floor death, by dying within 3 seconds of an elevator level.
Nice.
Those are all good.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Or we want to see what Flopsy Jr. and
Yes.
yeah.
What do you guys think Flopsy Jr. has to say about Darkman?
2.5 stars.
I think they're going to be kinder to it than that. And that
think
just
3?
Just because it's a later game, and I think honestly, if it were me rating the game, I would give it at least half a star just from the menu.
Yeah.
With the fucking hand and the finger.
Okay.
I think I would say 3.
I'm good with 3. You sold me.
3, and it's such a late release.
It's got to be. It's rare, right? Maybe but it's ocean, so probably not rare. Very uncommon. Oh, uncommon.
Uncommon, very uncommon. I don't
It's
know.
at least uncommon.
I'm not
movie
familiar
did
enough
okay.
with Flopsy Jr. to try to lead into. There's no pattern recognition with
know.
Flopsy Jr.
I know, but it is by Pat Contry.
The movie did okay.
You're right. It was a success.
I could see the game getting rented a lot, though. I don't know if it was like going to be
Purchased.
And if Blockbuster's closing down, I don't know that I would have been beating down the door to get me a copy of that Darkman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe very uncommon.
You think very uncommon? You guys both lean very uncommon. That sounds good to me.
I mean, I could be swayed if we think. I mean, I could see an argument for uncommon, honestly, with it being based on a movie and it being a successful movie and it being Ocean, who does a lot of movie games.
I think probably uncommon is a better
3 stars uncommon.
Yeah,
3 stars uncommon.
I think so.
Okay. According to Flopsy Jr., AKA, I don't have the cover up. This is gonna be a bad. The Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the NES Library, 1985 through 1995.
God, that is such a long lifespan.
By Pat Contry, courtesy of Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn. Darkman for the NES is not on the page it said it was going to be. Darkman for the NES. Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow. 1.5 stars.
Oh, snap.
Availability common.
God, we were way off on that one.
Way off.
Wow. Wow. I thought it was not a great game, but like, wow.
That's low for them. That's one of the lower. I mean, I know we do SNES mostly.
Is this scale out of 2 in the NES in Flopsy Jr.? Wow. The reflections are from BW.
Hey, that's the same one that wrote the article that Brad sent. Those are the same initials.
You're right. When in trouble, call BW.
Well, he wrote good shit about it.
Well, maybe the years wore him down.
Maybe.
They say, when Darkman hit theaters in 1990, I was eager to see it. After all, it was directed by the great Sam Raimi, who had made a name for himself with the great horror cult films The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Plus, it was influenced by Raimi's interest in 2 of my favorite things at the time. Universal monster films of the 1930s, which I can totally see. Like, there were moments where it's like, this is the Invisible Man. He looks like the Invisible Man with like the wraps and the hat.
Well, that's what the AVGN said. Like, he compared him to every single one of those, like the Invisible Man. He had aspects of like the Mummy. He had the Phantom of the Opera because only one part of his face.
Phantom
was
of the
white,
Opera,
the
yeah,
rest
for
was
sure.
fucked up.
And I can see Wolfman too, with like the rage and like the change in emotions. They also mentioned Tim Burton's Batman from 1989. BW continues, unlike the subsequent NES game, the Darkman film did not disappoint. Thrilling viewers, it's mainly just, talking about how he liked the movie, but not the game.
Yeah.
It's weird that this is the same initials. I'm wondering if that article mentions, I wrote an article about this game back in the day.
I was paid
heavily to write good things about it.
I'm sure there's a section about like who the authors are. I could look that up. I'll look it up. I'll look it up off the mic and let you know.
Okay.
Because it would be wild if it was. Where was that review from? That
it was
Zine Lord
from
sent us?
Video Games and Computer Entertainment.
Okay.
I liked that magazine. I actually got that one quite often.
Well, how much do you think you guys would pay for Darkman for the NES?
I mean, it's common, so
$10. $10.
$10 from Ian.
$14.
$14 from Tyler. Would you guys like to play this on the Game Boy by any chance?
Hell yeah!
Oh, all right. Next episode.
Darkman.
All right.
No thanks.
We got to watch Darkman Die.
Die, Darkman, die. Liam Neeson's not in that, right?
I don't know.
I think Liam Neeson was just in the first one. Sam Raimi definitely didn't direct that one, right?
I don't know. I'll look.
While you're looking, according to pricecharting.com at the time of this recording, Darkman for the NES used on average $28.04.
That seems high.
Expensive for a common.
It does seem high.
The guy that plays the mummy in The Mummy,
Is that Boris Karloff?
Arnold Vosloo, I believe is his name. Yeah. That guy.
He plays.
He's Darkman in Die Darkman.
Oh, in the new
Die.
Mummy.
No,
Oh.
in the Brendan Fraser
Fraser.
Mummy. He's Darkman in Die Darkman Die.
Die, Darkman, die.
Darkman 3 Return of Durant.
Is it worth $28?
No.
No, it is not.
It's totally not. I don't even understand how it is $28. That seems crazy.
Sam Raimi did not direct Die Darkman Die, but he did executively produce it and Return of Durant.
Interesting. Well, gentlemen, would you like to randomly select a game to be played?
Well, earlier you went Total Recall. You want to do Total Recall?
I mean, I'm down to do Total Recall if you guys are down to watch another
the movie
and
play another ocean,
I've watched Total Recall in the last week.
so you can totally recall.
I can totally recall this movie. I'm interested. Have y'all seen it?
I have
Bits and
not
pieces when I was a
seen
kid.
the whole movie
Yeah.
in its entirety at one time.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that when I watch it, it's gonna be like, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be like connective tissue, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it probably will. Yeah. Okay. Is it no Total Recall was for the NES as well?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Total Recall.
All right.
And BW is Brett Weiss, the author of classic home video game series and of the 100 greatest console video games 1977 through 1987. A gamer since 1974, Weiss has had articles published in Game Informer, Classic Gamer Magazine, Retro Magazine, Video Game Collector, and Video Game Trader. Find Brett at www.brettweisswords.com.
Okay.
So there might be, if we go there, maybe we can figure this out.
All right.
This you, bro?
Yeah. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've had a lot of fun talking about Darkman. If you were to give Darkman for the NES a beard, it sums up how you feel about it. What kind of beard would you give it and why?
I would give it the beard of that possum who hit the windshield during the review of Sparkster.
Mm-hmm.
So the bloody cut windshield beard of the possum.
Oh, nice. And then you put the possum in a little hospital bed and spin it around.
Yep.
He's
Take
fine.
away all its pain. He's all good. He's all good. Give him little bagel bite teeth.
Yep. Yep. He's fine. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
The
And why?
glasses worn on the melting skull of that guy who looks in the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones.
Who kind of looks like Sam Raimi's brother, like a little bit.
Joxer the Mighty, as I know him. But you also see Bruce Campbell in that a lot as the King of Thieves in Xena.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't watch enough Xena. I had a friend who watched a whole bunch of Xena, but I never watched it. I never really watched a lot of Hercules either. I don't know what it was about those at that time. They're just something
we didn't either, and for the same kind of reason. It just didn't have an appeal.
And I didn't play D&D at the time or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like for me it hit maybe like a little too early.
Yeah.
But
no, Kevin Sorbo and Lucy Lawless could not be more different people now that absolutely hate each other.
Yeah,
that's what I hear.
This is true.
Because fuck Kevin Sorbo.
Yep.
I guess that's it, gents.
Okay.
Got lots of shit going on. You find the show on not SoundCloud, not Stitcher, but on Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. Lots of stuff going on. Most importantly is that Patreon.
Patreon.com/TADPOG. Go there and give us money.
Money, please.
Money, please. If you give us $1, you get access to all of our bonus content. There's a lot of it. There's a considerable amount. It's a lot of stuff to get for one lousy $1. The other level we have is executive producer. And if you give us $20 or more, you get your name read on the show. I've revamped the list a little.
Okay.
Now I'm reading them different.
Okay. Switching it up.
A little different.
Keep us on our toes.
Cubicle Jake. Sandwich Jake, Phil H. Jake Bug Prime, Nathan E.
I love that one.
Matt, a.k.a. Jekyll G.
Jekyll G. That's really good.
Pinball Airplane Arch Jake, Chris Edler. Sorry you couldn't be on this episode. That nice Jake from Michigan. Louisville correspondent Princess Jake Suela, Banana Hammock, Flava Jake, Taryn D.
That's a good one too.
Jake Smith, Joey Dubs, Jake Pope Sandwich, Lord Jake Enthusiast, Jeff M. Thank you all so much for your generosity.
I like the list. I like the change up.
Yeah, that it flows a little better, and I get to say their name because
right,
I mean I want them to hear their real names,
absolutely,
not just their titles.
Yeah, because they pay $20, so if we'll say their name, you get the discount tier for $5. You get your Jake name.
Right.
My favorite one out of there is Jake Suela, Banana Hammock.
Jake Suela's really good.
Flava Jake.
I like Arch Jake.
Arch Jake is good.
I'm the Arch Jake.
And Jekyll G is
Jekyll G.
hilarious.
Matt, a.k.a. Jekyll G.
Jekyll G. I love this.
So here we are, once again at the end of business for the week.
So how you guys want to close it out?
As Darkman.
All right. So until next time. Trouble. Take the gun. Take the gun.
The fucking elephant.
Take the fucking hot sauce.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and releases new episodes every Wednesday. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and just about anywhere else podcasts are hosted. If you have a question or comment for the hosts, don't hesitate to call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. If you'd like to send us something, you can do so at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you'd like to donate to the show, visit patreon.com/TADPOG, and with a minimum donation of $1 per month, you will get access to all of our fun bonus content. Join the conversation on our Discord server at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. Registration is free, and we'd love to have you there. If you enjoy our show and haven't already, don't forget to find and tap that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Okay, so this lady moved in next door to us like a few months ago, and this is what I was going to tell you outside.
Okay.
And it's not really a funny story. It's kind of a bad story, I guess, but whatever. She lives alone, and occasionally her kids will come see her, like her ex-husband or whatever will bring kids over, and they seem nice. They go out in the yard and play, and they hang out and they go places, and she met my wife, and they got to know each other a little bit and everything. And her house is next to mine, has a carport where she parks her car, but she also had a bike out there. And at one point, Tanya was sitting out on the front porch and saw these asshole kids from down the street running down the street in the opposite direction with her bike. But before she could say anything about it, the kid tried to get on the bike and the tires were flat. So he said, fuck this, and just left the bike in the street. And then the woman came home and saw that the bike was in the street and got it and put it right back in her carport without locking it up. And so she...
Before I go to bed, I better air these tires up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's a nice bike. It's like a fucking mongoose.
Wow.
With gears and shit on it. I mean, it's a nice fucking bike. You could get it at Walmart or something for $150, $200, you know? And so anyway, time passes, you know, she ends up, we look outside one day and her car's gone, which is not unusual, except for the fact that it stayed gone for a couple of weeks, and then a couple of more weeks, and then another week. And at one point this past weekend, or weekend before this past weekend, I went over there and got that bike. And I said, no, because it's going to get stolen.
I thought you were about to say that her car got stolen.
No, her car didn't get stolen, but I took the bike and aired up the tires and put it in my garage.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, she's eventually going to come home, I hope. Or else maybe we thought maybe she had abandoned the house or something. You know, it's a rental. Mm-hmm. Thought maybe she had just dipped out on the rent or whatever. Well, Tanya and I walk out on the porch the other day, like Saturday, and lo and behold, her fucking car's in the carport again. I'm like, we both like, oh shit, okay. So I put on my shoes and I went over there and knocked on the door, and she came out and she was like, I was like, hey, I'm Ian. I live next door to you. You met my wife. She's like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm like, listen, I've got your bike in my garage and I aired up the tires and everything. And she goes, oh, you took the bike. Okay. I thought it had gotten stolen again. I'm like, well, according to my wife, it almost got stolen yet again. Well, when you've been gone for so long, we weren't sure what was going on. So I held on to the bike for you. And she's like, cool. I'll come back and get it from you later today or tomorrow or something. And I was like, okay, are you going to be, and I wasn't trying to be nosy or anything, but I was like, are you going to be like gone a lot? Do you want to keep the bike in my garage when you're gone for a long period of time? Like, I don't know why she didn't just take it in the house. It's not like it was a fucking bicycle from the 30s with the giant wheel on the front.
She stole it, so she's trying to get somebody else to
maybe.
take it, so.
But I gotta get this bike heat off of me.
I found out that she had gone to the hospital for some tests, and then she was at work later that day, and they called her and said, you need to come down here immediately. You're in liver failure.
Oh, God.
So they had to airlift her to Louisville, and she was in liver failure and being treated for that up in Louisville for this whole month. And she's like, I couldn't pay my rent. I thought I was going to come home to the doors being locked, and I couldn't get in. And she's like, I had my air conditioning. I left it on this whole time and all this stuff. But yeah, she was not doing well. And so like the next day, I haven't seen her car at her house in 3 days. So now I'm not sure if she's back in the hospital or what. So
enjoy your new bike.
I don't want that bike. It's got some bad karma attached to it, apparently. But her name's Katie, and I hope she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
That's it. That's
I thought the story was going to end with after you aired up the tires and she got home, she put it right in the spot that it was, and then those kids stole the bike.
Right. No, well, that may yet happen if she gets it back, and she says, well, I'm getting a lock for it. I'm getting a better lock for it. But
she's got a lot of other shit. Like
apparently.
I'm sure the lock is probably like at the bottom of the list.
Well, it's about liver heels. I'll buy a lock for it.
She's still out lock shopping right now.
Yeah. What's the perfect lock? Sir, excuse me. Could you show me to your locks, please?
Your finest locksmith.
No, these will not do at all, I'm afraid.
There's some wily kids about.
All right. I had a mouse. I can't stop it. There it is.